All right, welcome back. Monty, Thursday, week 10, November 19. We're trying to actually calculate angle measures based on the properties we discussed all week. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, this first shape is a parallelogram. Okay, parallelogram, we know that all the consecutive angles add to 180. Okay, that adds to 180. Well, if that adds to 180, then this has to be 50 degrees, right? 180 equals 130 plus x. Draw our line, subtract the 130, subtract the 130, 50 equals x. Okay? 130 minus 30 goes away. All right. So, hopefully that made sense. Let's move on. Next one. Parallelogram. Opposite sides are equal. So, we'll set it equal to each other. 5x plus 2 equals 6x. Draw our line. Move the 5x. We got to get all the variables together. Remember, just come visit me during access time if you struggle with this. 2 equals x. Okay? All right. Quadrilateral. Parallelogram. Opposite angles are equal. Remember, go back to the chart. In a rectangle, opposite angles are congruent. Opposite angles are congruent. Okay? So we set it equal to each other. 3x equals x plus 60. Draw our line. Move that. Now I know they don't write the 1 there, but it is. It's 1x. So we're going to subtract 1x from both sides, leaving us with 2x. The equals. Bring down the 60. What's the opposite of multiply? Undo the multiplication. We have to divide. X equals 30. Okay, now we finally get to one of these strange diagonals. Okay, now to me, this looks like a parallelogram. It says parallelogram. So let's go find parallelogram and diagonals. Diagonals in a parallelogram. Parallelogram, diagonals bisect. Okay, they equal. Equal. Okay, well, let's write it out. 3x plus 4 is equal to 4x minus 1. Draw our little fence. Got to decide. As the teacher, always take the variables to the left. You don't have to. The opposite of a plus is a minus. Draw our line. Those go away. Now we have 3, we lose 4, so we're going to have negative 1x. We still have our 4. We still have our equals. We still have our negative 1. Okay? Opposite of a plus is a minus, so we're going to bring that 4 across. Leaving us with negative 1x equals. Now remember, if negatives are a bother, you owe me $1, then you owe me 4. How many total do you owe me? 5. Now, negatives. I got negatives on both sides. Let's get rid of it. Divide by a negative, and x is equal to positive 5. Now remember, anytime you have negatives, just click on your calculator button, okay? Pause the video, take a look at those. Let's move on. Okay, so we got a whole list of them here. Wow. Okay, let's crank them out. Now I'm just going to set them up, okay? Now, rectangle, what do you know about rectangles? We know that all the corners are 90. All the corners are 90. So these two add to 90. So 90 is equal to those two angles, x plus 34. Okay? Draw your line, solve for x. Okay? Rectangle. We know that those sides are equal. Okay? So 7x plus 4 equals 3 times x plus 8. This one's got a little twist. Make sure you distribute. Once you distribute it, 7x plus 4 equals 3x plus 24. Draw your fence, solve. Okay? Now, if this is 3x plus 15 and it is a rectangle, well, then we know that all the corners are 90. All the corners are 90. So set it up. 90 is equal to 3x minus 15. Draw your fence, solve for x. JC. Okay, so let's change colors here. Let's make that a blue. So that whole piece is that. ON. That whole piece is that. Well, rectangle. What do we know about diagonals in a rectangle? They have to be equal. Good. So 8x minus 5 equals 6x plus 11. Draw your fence. Solve for x. All right. Squares. Since they're squares, we know they're equal. 7x equals x plus 12. Remember, if the math piece is the hard part, just come visit me and we'll talk about it. Square. This side is equal to this side. So 96 equals 6 times parenthesis 2x plus 8. Don't forget, distribute, leaving us with 96 equals 12x plus 48. Draw your fence, solve. Rhombi equals, so 4x minus 13 equals x plus 5. Okay, for a rhombi, we know that these are all 90 degrees. Okay, that's what makes a kite a kite. Okay, remember, form a 90 degrees. Okay, so let's do it. 90 equals 5 times x. Draw your line. What's the opposite of multiply? Divide. Good job. Okay? And now let's get to the hard ones. Isosceles. Wow. How do we do an isosceles trapezoid? Wow. So this one's going to take a little bit more time. Okay? But do they always equal 180? They have to always equal 180 because this is equal to this. This is equal to this. So we split it down the middle. So now this whole side is 180. So 180 equals 40x plus 5 plus 10x. Okay? Draw your fence, solve. Isosceles. Sides are equal, set them equal to each other, draw your line. Okay? 4x minus 3 equals 21. Draw your line, solve. Kite. Okay? This side is equal to this side. This side is equal to this side. Put an equal sign between them. Draw your line. Solve for x. Okay? And then the last one, this is a kite. And we know a kite is all 90 degrees. So 90 equals 4x plus 10. Okay? Draw your fence. Solve. So, all week, trying to make sense of shapes. Then we start to do the math with it. Come see me in Access Time if you need help.